Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. This is Optibotimus coming to you with another video review. And today, thanks to the folks at Sideshow Collectibles, we're going to be taking a look at their new Star Wars 1/6 scale Imperial probe droid. Now I know what you're saying, Paul, they've done this before. This isn't anything new. But as you come down and take a look, oh look, it's got a new base. So basically what they did was reissue this with a different style base that is more kind of neutral. The previous one had a whole kind of fake snow sort of look to it. But this package is huge. I mean, for comparison, here's a baggie. Yeah, a baggie. That's all I had, okay? But it's a really big package. For the front, though, you can see a real cool image of the probe droid. You see it says 6 scale down here. It's actually, I mean, one thing that's weird is when you watch the movie, you never really get a real good sense of how big this thing is. But it's actually really pretty large. The side here has another image of it. On the back here, you got another image. You almost can't even tell which is the front of the box and which was the back of the box. And then on this side, you got another image of the droid itself. Does it have anything on the bottom? Oh yeah, here on the bottom, you got various contact information, including a bit of a warning here that says, exercise care during unpacking and assembly. And that's actually good advice because there are some pretty small intricate parts on this. But for the packaging on it, it is really large. The inside of it is basically just a foam insert that holds everything. So it's nicely protected on the inside of the box, but for the packaging, that is about it for it. So without further ado, let's get this out here and see how cool it actually is. Alright guys, so here we have the Imperial probe droid opened up and out of its packaging. And one thing that I'll say is, yeah, this thing does get really very large. Obviously you have a very large display stand here that allows you to kind of elevate it to give it more of that floating kind of look. And I was mistaken, it isn't a different base. The only thing that's really different with this as opposed to that previous version that came out about 2 years ago or so is that there was a section that could slide on and go down over this just regular dome shaped thing. This was there always before. But you could take a section and slide it over and it was snow and kind of replicate, you know, how it looked on the planet Hoth. So that's really the only thing that differs between this and that previous one. But it's kind of cool that they're reintroducing this because that original one did sell out. And I think that speaks very nicely to just how good this has been received because this really does look really very cool. Now, there is some assembly that is required. You just slide this off. All these pieces down here, these extra arms and things like that, you got a couple little pieces here, one here, and then one right here. Those have to all be attached, and then like I said, each of these arms, they just peg in there. It's very easy, but you just put it in just like so. And then you have to put the, it comes in two different halves. This is a lower section, this is the upper section. That has to be put together. But in general, I mean, it really is a pretty simple sort of assembly. I mean, as long as you don't knock things off in the process. So let's see, where did that go? That was right there. That just pegs up there. But in general, this is really very cool. I mean, you can see that while on the base, you can kind of spin it so that you got, I guess that is articulation. And then up here, which I guess would be his head, this can also rotate. So you can get this looking around and doing things like that. Also, all these little kind of eye sensors also move around. I mean, you can see this main section here rotates. All these little bitty ones on it also rotate around. I mean, that's really cool. You got a couple of those. You got that there. You got another like little smaller eye right on there that can move around. You got a little gun turret here that can position left and right, can look up and down and shoot different things. And then you got some more little eye things here. You got all these various very glossy black lens camera things. I mean, they don't do anything. They just kind of overall add to the look on it. But it is really very cool. The front of them is actually right here. Oops, don't, I cheated. Don't put that on yet. I don't want to show that yet. You also have some antenna that can move up and down. You do have to be careful when you're doing it so that you don't pull too far out. And you can see this one likes dropping right back down. There we go. Keeps it all the way up. All these individual arms are also articulated. You can move these around. You do want to be careful when you're doing it because, as you can see, you can pop out the piston like right there. Now, it can go back in. You do have to just fiddle with it and you can put it back in there, but you do have to be careful because it is designed for the pistons to pop out so that you don't damage it. So you can rotate all these little arms around, you can spin it around like so, you can angle it up like that. The little hand sections down here, most of these can open and close just like that. Same on this one, and that leg's popping out. It just, let's see, am I not pushing that in all the way? No, maybe that's, yeah, there we go. Again, you got the little armature that can move back and forth. You got the piston that's attached to it. This little section right here can open and close. So all of these little arms and everything can do all that kind of stuff, which is really very nice. Like specifically this one here, you have a little bit more of a, get that all the way up. It has a little bit more of a kind of cutting tool, sorting look to it, which is cool. So putting that down, I mean, all of these look really very nice. And you do, like I said, you do want to be careful with them because they are, you can see, a little bit smaller of pieces, but in general, they're pretty decent. And I really like the range of motion that they have. Coming in a little closer to take a look at some of the extra details, you can see that you got a really nice black kind of matte paint on the entire surface of the droid itself, but you can see some really nice scratches and scrapes and everything on there that just kind of adds to the overall character of the actual droid itself. You look here at the top of it and you can see some nice red painted bits on there. In general, really nicely painted, and yeah, I mean, while it doesn't really look like it's metal, they did a pretty good job putting some of these, you know, silver details on here to kind of make it look like it's actually metal. The coolest part about this is the fact that it does have lights and sounds. That's something that you don't really get a heck of a lot of. So coming back a little bit. So like I said, this is basically the front of the guy, and then you have a button that's, where's it at? Is it that one? There we go. Yeah, it's that one right there. You got a button that's right up here that when you push it, you get a very bright, just regular probe kind of look with the light. You go around and it's, you know, scanning things and checking things out. Then you push it again and it changes color to like a red alert kind of thing, which that's absolutely terrific. I love that. And then you hit it one more time and it turns the whole thing off. But in the process, you can have that turned on, and then you have another button that's right here that you push it in. You get actual movie accurate sounds recreating the, well, I don't want to say voice, but just the different beeps of this particular droid. So again, you got that little button that's right here. You got a little speaker, and I mean, that's terrific. It really is. It was something that the original one had, and I think that they did a great job again of utilizing again in this particular piece. Overall, if you missed out on that original one, I think that this is a great one to pick up. The fact that you don't get the snow base might put some people off, but in terms of price, it is the exact same. So I could see where people will be like, well, you know, I paid the same price and I got an extra display option. Yeah, that's totally true, but because that one's sold out, it also keeps that one a little bit more special than just this one, and keeps those people that bought it when it first came out, you know, feeling like they got a unique piece. So I don't mind that they didn't, you know, throw that little stand thing in with this as well. But this really did turn out really very nice. I think that the original one definitely had that, you know, kind of classic appeal in terms of recreating a very strange looking flying droid, and this one's obviously going to do the exact same thing. So I think if you're a fan of Star Wars, this is a great piece to add to your collection, and it's going to look great with any of your, you know, 1/6 scale figures. And I guess I should give you kind of a comparison for that, but here's my 1/6 scale Bones figure from Iron Man. I mean, I know it's not Star Wars, but you can get an idea of how big this guy is. As I was saying, it really is quite massive, and honestly, it's kind of surprising. I didn't expect it to be this big. But this is a great figure, and if you missed out the first time, this is a great way to go back and get it. So if you are interested in picking this guy up, it is available right now at Sideshow Collectibles. So all you have to do is click on the link down in the video description. You'll go to Sideshow where you can check out availability on this, as well as the rest of the 1/6 scale Star Wars figures. But beyond that, guys, that's about it. So once again, I want to thank you for tuning in. This has been Optibotimus. Don't forget to please like and comment, and be sure to subscribe in case you haven't already subscribed. That way you never miss a future review. And until next time, and for all you hand fans, I'll talk to you later.